Mhm. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Save Point Reviews, the MCU, where each and every week we get together with you guys and talk about all of the Marvel movies in theatrical release order. This week we have Iron Man 3, the first movie of Phase 2. So it's going to be a little bit of a different format than what we had last time. We're not going to go through the entire plot scene by scene. I think we're going to kind of truncate it a little bit and just give our overall thoughts of the movie itself, the story, the characters, and how it kind of ties into the overall MCU. If you like the sound of that, give us a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and let us know which format you like better, because I know there was a little bit of back and forth that I was seeing of what you guys wanted. So if there's one overwhelming consensus one way or the other, we'll be happy to do that for you guys. But we're going to do this now just to see how you guys like the change. So Iron Man 3, like I said, is the first movie of Phase 2. It had a budget of $200 million and a worldwide gross of $1.2 billion. It was the first movie, the first and only Iron Man movie to gross over $1 billion, and only at this point the second movie in the MCU to gross over $1 billion. Obviously, the other one was Avengers. It released on May 3rd, 2013. I think that's it for the details themselves. It had a runtime of 130 minutes. I'm on IMDb here. So I guess, guys, let's jump right in. What did you guys think of the kind of the movie itself? It was obviously a little different in tone compared to the other ones. I don't think it's as well regarded as the first two. But what did you guys think?
I like it. The only thing I really don't like is the villain. I mean, I thought the story was good.
Are you talking about the Mandarin or the?
I don't really count the Mandarin.
Yeah, the Mandarin was kind of like a sub character.
Yeah,
really.
Which I think what everybody was pretty bummed about.
Yeah,
because the way they set that up obviously was really cool. It's like this, obviously this terrorist that's hijacking the American airwaves and wreaking havoc, and it turns out that he's kind of like
just a puppet.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's a puppet, but he's also the way they played it. I mean, obviously he's an actor, but the way that his character came off after it was revealed that he wasn't really the Mandarin, he was just so goofy in a way that I didn't really care for. I mean, I'm not saying
it made him sound like he was a druggie or a hippie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I like the movie. Overall, I like the movie.
I like the story of it. It's just I thought what was his name? The villain?
Aldrich Killian, played by Guy Pearce.
Yeah, I thought he was lackluster. He didn't really do anything for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Me either.
But I like the whole PTSD after the New York City battle thing.
Right. No, I thought that was really cool too.
It kind of showed us the unraveling of Tony Stark's really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the events that lead up to Age of Ultron.
Right. No, yeah, I agree. I thought when I first saw this, I think I was in the camp with the majority of it. Didn't really. I don't think it's as bad. It's definitely not as bad as I remember, and I don't think it's a bottom tier Marvel movie like I would have probably thought before rewatching it. The story is real cool. I like how it's not really about Iron Man. It's more about Tony, obviously, and his kind of dealing with everything. It's darker in its visuals and its tone, obviously, with the PTSD and how he kind of overcomes all of that. So I thought it was really well done. I don't know. It was I'm just trying to think in my head where I would place it at the end of this episode when we finally rank it, where I'm going to put it in the overall rankings.
It's probably my least favorite Iron Man movie.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's my least favorite Iron Man movie.
Really?
But overall, I would have to actually go through and look at the list.
I'll just run it down for you guys since we're talking about it right now. Number one obviously is Avengers, and we have Iron Man 2 at number 2, Iron Man at number 3. Then we have Captain America: First Avenger at number 4, and we're at number 5. Incredible Hulk at number 6.
I think personally, I'd put it above Captain America, but below the first Iron Man.
I don't know.
So I think it was at 4th.
Yeah,
I like
would put it at 4.
Captain America.
Yeah, I'll put it between Thor and Captain America.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Better than Captain America, but I think that sounds good for me.
Yeah, I don't know. The first Captain America didn't really do anything for me either.
But I mean, it was a good origin story for Captain America.
Right. I'm pulling up some notes here that I took. What did you guys think of, like? So since we're not doing like the plot, I figured we would just kind of go in different categories about the movie itself. We already talked a little bit about the story. What did you guys think of, like, just kind of the visuals, the set pieces? Did anything in particular stand out to you guys as far as that is concerned? Because I actually thought, obviously, it had an increased budget compared to the first two, but like the scene at the end on the tanker, I think it was, when all the Iron Man suits come out, I thought it was pretty cool. It kind of stood out to me a little bit.
Yeah, that was probably like the coolest part of the entire movie.
Yeah, I mean the visuals and the CGI was a lot better than it was. I would say better than the first two Iron Man.
Right. Yeah, everything seemed like it had like a bigger. Yeah, it was just on a bigger scale.
That being said, I like, as good as they were, I personally thought that everything was just kind of generic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the fights and everything. Nothing like stood out. There's no like big thing that captured me, like in the Avengers. Obviously, New York's bigger than whatever went down on the
Right.
At the end of that movie. But even like for me, like the first Iron Man, like Tony making the suit
Right.
in the cave, like just visually, I think that's more striking than
Anything
they did in like Iron Man 3.
I would agree with that. I think, as far as like that, yeah, if that's the comparison,
Like
I
there's
would agree.
nothing like for me like that was like super memorable.
Right.
Iron Man 3.
We
Yeah,
talked.
besides when
Go
he
ahead.
calls in all the Iron Man suits.
So what?
Yeah.
That's
Cut out,
cool.
Chase.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily think it was like.
I mean, it's the coolest part of the movie is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think that's the most memorable part of the movie.
Right.
And Happy played a bigger role in this film also.
He did.
That's where you kind of stand out of his character developing more into the MCU.
Yeah. It's actually funny that you say that, because I was reading on IMDb that the reason that he had an expanded role is he felt more comfortable doing that because he didn't have to direct it, and so he was able to kind of free himself up a little bit and have more fun in that role. What did you? We talked about it a little bit, but what did you guys think about kind of Ben Kingsley as the Mandarin slash Trevor Slattery?
I mean, he played the part really well.
Yeah,
just
he
for
played the part well.
just for what the character was called for, you know.
Right.
I think like in the trailers and stuff, they
purposely misled.
if I'm remembering right, they made the Mandarin sound like the big bad guy,
Right.
and like a super serious threat.
And that's what kind of, I think, hyped up everybody, because
'Cause I
if
know
you're
in
a
the
comics, he was a big villain.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't realize that. That makes sense though. I
Yeah,
wonder if
he's like a big storyline.
I wonder if that's the reason why people. It's because maybe they didn't like the twist. I wonder if that's what kind of left a bad taste in people's mouth.
I know
It is.
a big
I read
reason
that.
for it.
Yeah. So let me keep going here. So yeah, visuals we talked about. Let me go over some of the Easter eggs that I found. Kind of a small thing, but this is the first Iron Man movie and the first movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that doesn't hint at the events of a future movie in a mid-credits or end-credits scene. I don't know if you guys stayed and watched that. I think it's...
I don't remember
I don't remember the end
scenes.
credit.
It's just him basically talking to Bruce Banner about kind of like the PTSD, but it doesn't really set up anything in terms of...
Oh, is that with him on the psychologist chair?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
What else? Again, this is the first Iron Man movie to gross over $1 billion. The first cut of the movie was originally 3 hours and 15 minutes long, but it was cut down to 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Good Lord. I mean,
Yeah, good thing they cut it down.
Yeah. What else here? Anything good? Kind of a small. Go ahead.
I think towards the end credits, with what they were trying to do, there's have more of a lighter tone.
Mm-hmm.
After going through the whole movie of him being in the dark phase of his life,
right?
And I think that kind of just shows what direction that MCU was going towards.
Yeah,
because I mean, afterwards, there was a lot more humor in their films.
All of them are just action comedy movies.
Yeah.
And I also think they were trying to go for more of like a finality, because this was confirmed like when it came out to be the last solo Iron Man movie.
Yeah, and if you think that's actually a good point, because if you look at like just the 3 Iron Man movies, like that storyline alone has a good arc to it. Obviously, the origin story, and then the middle, and then kind of how he deals. I mean, it still ties into
and like even at the
Avengers,
end,
but
it destroys like all the Iron Man suit.
Yeah, it's a good bookend to that story. If you think about it that way.
I didn't get the point of, because he was back in the Iron Man suit in the next MCU.
Well, I think he did that just because he's finally past the phase of PTSD.
Right.
Yeah, because that was his way to cope with it, was making all the suits.
Just working. And shout out to Pepper Potts there, having a little action scene there at the end. I forgot.
Yeah, I didn't understand that part too, because she had like powers, and then like she didn't ever again.
Not until
there's a throwaway line where
I mean, she didn't even have power. She was in a suit, so it was like,
was she in the suit?
Yeah. So they gave her powers for like the final scene.
Well, she was injected with that stuff, and then Tony had a throwaway line at the end that said he's been working on something that could fix her. So I think.
Oh, I didn't remember that.
Yeah, it was like a quick.
It seemed unnecessary.
Right. No, I agree. But
sorry, but I don't see Gwyneth Paltrow having like an action type role in anything.
No,
I don't either. But that was
kind of weird for me.
Her goop company.
But the attack on the Chinese. Say what?
She'll always be the one in the box for me.
The attack on the Chinese theater also holds special significance, as Firepower, played by Ashley Hamilton, is sitting right next to the handprints and signature of Robert Downey Jr. Tony tells, I don't know if you guys remember this, when he was in the bar talking to, I think it was Rhodey, and that kid comes up and asks for like a picture or an autograph or something, and he's wearing glasses, and he calls him, or he says that he loved him in Christmas Story. You guys remember that?
Yeah, I remember that line.
Yeah, obviously, Ralphie is played by Peter Billingsley, who was an executive producer on the original Iron Man movie.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I did. I don't know how I got that job.
There's some like weird rumors about that kid.
Let's see here. What's his name?
Doing porn or something.
Yinsen makes a brief appearance in a flashback at the beginning of the movie. Obviously, we knew that. It's the only Iron Man movie to not feature any songs by ACDC.
By who?
ACDC.
ACDC.
What ACDC song was in Iron Man 2?
think it was Thunderstruck, wasn't it? Or
Back. I'm not.
I'll have
Black
to
and
look.
Back and Black. Is that?
maybe
a
that.
space
Yeah,
piece?
no, it was one of the two. I can't remember. There was one I remember when he was jumping out of at the very beginning when he jumps out of the plane at the Stark Expo.
Oh yeah.
I just can't
now.
remember which one it is. Or Thunderstruck, it might have been.
Yeah,
Um,
I think it was. Yeah.
The final line of the movie was originally written as "I am Tony Stark" to mirror Iron Man 1's ending, but eventually changed to "I am Iron Man" to enhance the mythical qualities of the character. That's about it. There's not really anything. Everything else is kind of. All right, let me just real quick. I'm scrolling through here. Give me a second. Oh, interesting. Shane Black initially said he had no intention of incorporating the Mandarin at all, citing the character's reputation as a racial stereotype as the reason. I don't know what changed there. Probably somebody at Disney or Marvel, kind of the executives, probably stepped into that.
Maybe they said he said the only way he'd do it is if he actually turned out to be a British actor.
Yeah.
In disguise.
All right. Yeah, I think we're scraping the bottom of the barrel here. This is the first time Samuel L. Jackson did not appear in an Iron Man related movie as Nick Fury.
Yeah, it was pretty much just an Iron Man movie. Like, it wasn't like a MCU movie. Like,
Yeah, I don't. At least from what I remember, I don't remember it tying in a whole lot.
I don't think it
Just
does.
Like plot wise, and
other than like callbacks to the Avengers movie.
Yeah.
But other than
Right.
that, it was pretty much just like a Tony Iron Man movie.
I think it was more like how his PTS kind of carries over.
Mm-hmm.
I know, like he's kind of past it by the end, but you can kind of see it how much he worries about, Thanos and
Right.
how like diligent he is about protecting people and all that stuff.
An interesting fact for us specifically, the four of us, where'd it go? I just saw it. To date, this movie is the highest grossing movie in the Philippines of all time with an estimated box office of $13.9 million US.
So,
Considering how the exchange rate, a lot of people went and saw that. Man.
yeah, that's just like a movie out of like all the MCU movies. Like,
I'm surprised it wasn't that. One of the James Bonds was filmed in Manila. I know that was really big.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So was the Jason Bourne Legacy was filmed there too.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Probably.
Anthony Mackie, who went on to play Sam Wilson, the Falcon?
Yeah.
I don't remember. It's Sam something.
He originally auditioned for the role of the Mandarin, but was not right for the position. So,
Is the Mandarin black?
I don't
No,
think so.
Mandarin is
I think
Asian.
he's Middle
Yeah.
Eastern or Indian or something.
Or
I think
Asian?
it's kind of ambiguous. That would have been an interesting take.
Yeah. Hey.
Michael B. Jordan was auditioned for Falcon.
I do remember that.
I
do
think
remember
I would
hearing
have
that.
liked him better as Falcon than Anthony Mackie. No disrespect to any Anthony Mackie fans.
I'm not. I don't really like Falcon, dude.
He's
He's
kind of lame as a superhero.
I don't like the way he's written. It's like
I think it's the writing. Yeah, it's kind of just one note.
yeah, just like it seems like he almost has like a little man complex compared to the rest of the Avengers.
I'm sure he
'cause
does.
sucks compared to
But it just gets annoying to hear it.
Well, in the show that they're going to have on Disney Plus, I think he's supposed to get an injection of the super soldier
See, that would
serum.
make him a super
Oh,
badass.
so he's
Yeah,
gonna
that would
he's
make
probably
more
getting
sense
jacked
because
right
he's like
now.
in that one
Yeah.
trailer, he was like whipping around Captain America's shield, and I'm like, dude, how did he get that power? He's just a normal guy with like a wingsuit.
Yeah.
Let me see
It'd
here.
be cool if like he used the wingsuit and the shield.
I think he does.
That's
Who
pretty cool.
represents? You should change his name to the Eagle instead of the Falcon.
Captain Eagle.
I think that's it as far as like the Easter eggs and stuff. I don't see anything else worth going over. So let's, unless you guys have anything else to talk about, because like I said, the movie kind of stands on it. I think more than any other movie up to this point, it stands on its own, even with obviously the PTSD connection to the Avengers, and obviously that's like kind of the catalyst for the whole story. I still think it stands on its own more than any other. Yeah, it really doesn't. Again, there's no after credit scene or post credit scene where it sets up kind of the next movie or hints at the next movie.
What is the next movie?
Thor: Dark World. So we got to get through that.
I don't know why you're laughing. I kind of like that movie.
Oh my god, that
I don't
might be worse.
What's her name in that movie?
The big tittied girl.
I don't remember the
Kat
size
Denning?
of her cup.
Yeah, she is so
But,
annoying in that movie.
Yeah, I don't like her. She's annoying.
I like how you knew who I was talking about. I mean, just by that description.
Oh, it wasn't Natalie Portman.
If I remember correctly, I think that Thor: Dark World, and we'll talk about it obviously next week, but I think Thor: Dark World is, might be controversial. I think it's so far below the Incredible Hulk in terms of
Oh, hell
quality.
no.
No, I have to
I actually
disagree with
think it's
that.
first Thor, but
Yeah, you just-
Yeah,
you
I
just
like it
don't-
more than the first Thor.
You don't like it just because of Dark Elves, that's all.
I remember just disliking this movie so much that I thought
me
it was like,
too, though. But I mean, because
I never like disliked it.
I liked it, and it was...
I've always liked it more than the first Thor movie. Like even when I first saw it.
really?
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah,
it was awful.
He actually looks better in this movie than the first one.
So let me pull up here. I'm gonna pull up the official. Well, let's do chilling with the villains first, and we'll rank Guy Pearce as. Should we do Mandarin and Aldrich Killian, or just Aldrich?
No,
I think
Mandarin
counts.
doesn't count,
Okay.
especially with the new movie coming
he's
out.
a fake villain.
Yeah.
All right. So let me pull up the list here. You guys fill time real quick.
Get attacked. Oh.
I put AB in the top villain.
Yeah, it's my cat. He's mean.
Yeah, not Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
Although he's up there as well.
I heard somebody's trying to sign him, and I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, you keep hearing that,
It's
but
probably
then, like,
Tampa Bay.
He keeps like going crazy.
Probably
holding
Tampa
like
Bay.
U-Haul drivers hostage, and
Let me pull up the
I don't know why the Raiders drafted like 9 wide receivers.
Like I told you, they're gonna do that trick play where they have 9
It's
wide
just gonna be
receivers.
it's gonna be their play every single time. Let me see here.
imagine if they did just like a center,
Yeah.
their car, and then
Remember
all
the Colts
receivers.
tried to trick play where it was just the center and the quarterback, and
I
everybody was
sent
lined out,
you a picture of it.
and then
They're all
He
lined
got
up on the left.
sacked.
Yeah.
we might have to wait on the villain ranking. I can't find it. I think it's tagged in one of the videos, so I'll have to pull that up for next time. So let's just jump to. I mean, where would you guys put him? I think it was Loki from Avengers at number 1. There was Loki from Thor somewhere, obviously in there. It's Red Skull, I think, was the top 3. Where would you guys put? Where would you guys put Killian?
I think I'd put him right above Abomination.
Yeah.
I think
and
Abomination
probably
was the
second
last
from
one.
last.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
yeah,
Okay, that sounds
yeah.
good. So
I thought that was one of the reasons why I think I didn't like the movie that much, because you have to have a really good villain
Yeah, and he
to
didn't
balance
really
out the hero.
do much.
And I
Like,
just
for me.
like, and the way they portrayed him in the beginning, like as like this nerdy, like
Bumbling,
pimple
like-
face.
Yeah,
like,
it was very strange.
And it's not like he was like the main villain with just that type of superpowers. There was like
Right.
a whole group of them with the same type.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, that's true. That does kind of lessen
Yeah,
his
so it wasn't
his
like
impact.
unique in that regard. Like,
Interesting. Yeah, that's a good
he
point.
didn't do much.
Right. Okay. So let's go. Let's go ahead and rank this movie. We'll start in ascending order. At number 6, currently we have The Incredible Hulk. Then Thor at number 5. Captain America: The First Avenger at 4. Iron Man at number 3. Iron Man 2 at number 2. And number 1 currently is The Avengers. Where do you guys want to put Iron Man 3?
Well, I know me and Leo both think it should be between Thor
And Captain America.
and Captain America.
So that would put him at
I put it
number-
right above Captain America. So
I think I would put him right. I think I would put him right above Captain America also. Shoot, that's a split. That's a split vote. We need to figure out how to do this. I never considered this possibility.
Well, who had a better villain in Captain America or Iron Man 3?
Oh, it was definitely Red Skull.
Captain America is a better villain.
Yeah, I would go off of that.
Okay. So in that case, okay, so the new ranking then is update this. The new ranking is Hulk at number 7 now, Thor at number 6, Captain America, the First Avenger at number 5, and number 4 is the new number 4 is Iron Man 3, the Iron Man 2 at number 2, and the Avengers at number 1. So there you guys have it. Let us know what you guys think of that that ranking. I think I like it there. I was actually gonna originally, like before we started talking about it, and I really looked at the list that we had so far, I was actually about to put it right below the Avengers at number 2, because there was something about this rewatch that I really liked. I don't know what it was. I think it was because it was just so different. But
I think it would have been higher if like the villain was better.
Yeah, that's probably a good point.
Yeah, the fact that he was so lame
it was
sad.
just it was a different tone than any other MCU movie.
Right.
It was, instead of like a superhero movie, it was more like a character study on Tony Stark.
Yeah, which I think I liked this time around. I think the first time that I saw it, it was such a different tone that it kind of threw me off. And then I think the bait and switch with Mandarin as not the real villain kind of, again, rubbed people the wrong way. So who knows? But next week, guys, we have Thor, The Dark World. And then after that, like I said, I remember this being just absolute garbage, but we'll see.
Better. When was the last time you watched it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a while. I've purposely not watched it because I disliked it that much. So it'll be interesting to go back.
Yeah. It's a lot better than Hercules or Incredible Hulk.
Kind of the same. When you think about it.
I wonder who would win Incredible Hulk.
After that, though, we kind of start getting into like a good stretch of movies. I think after that, if I remember correctly, is the first Guardians movie, which I remember pretty fondly. So it'll be interesting from that.
Yeah, I think this one is going to start getting harder to rank.
Yeah, it's been pretty easy so far.
Yeah,
ranking them like favorites, but there's a really good stretch of movies.
because I think it's Guardians, and then the second Captain America, it was the Winter Soldier. I think it was right after that, and then Age of Ultron is in there somewhere.
Yeah,
obviously.
I think after the first Captain America, all the Captain America movies starting to get a lot better.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Captain America. Like those movies are probably like my favorite movies of any of the Avenger.
I tell you what, we were talking about Iron Man's trilogy, like just separate 3 movies. I think Captain America's trilogy of movies is, and obviously the first one's so, but the second and obviously Civil War are such strong entries that there could be a case
but Civil War is almost not fair because it's pretty much an Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Minus Thor.
And the whole
Daryl.
yeah.
Thor
and Daryl.
Daryl.
Yeah, Thor and Daryl were off on their own.
So, but yeah, like I said, guys, there you have it. That's our current and updated rankings. Let us know what you guys think about this. Do you agree, disagree? Where would you put it yourselves? If you want to kind of follow along with us and do your homework for next week's episode, watch Thor: The Dark World. Let's all get it through together. And
You put some respect on
exactly.
man.
and
If you are able to sit through Incredible Hulk, sure
Yeah.
you could do
yeah,
Thor: Dark World.
we'll see.
It only gets better from Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, there you have it. And I'm going to pull up the list of the villains also, and I'll have that in actual order next week. Also, I think that's everything. You guys have anything before we sign off?
No.
Nope.
All right, guys. That is everything until next time. You guys have a marvelous day.
Such an attention whore.